come to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen, and if you have been keen, you will realize that we have actually changed the name down there from Kevin Oduor to the bold. I realize that people interact with the bold, and people have identified the show as the bold, and so why not give it the name that it rightfully deserves. I want to look at Uasin Gishu, where Eldoret town sits. This is a home ground to Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. And even without campaigns, if someone was to go and conduct elections there, elections has to be done there, and Raila and Uhuru are in the ballot, what was going to happen is William Ruto was going to get more votes than Raila Odinga. In simple terms, that is his stronghold. But why do you think that they have gone to an extent of now doing propaganda in a region that they enjoy massive support? Because if you look at Uasin Gishu is the same as Kisumu County, where Raila Odinga enjoys massive support. I want you to imagine a situation where Raila Odinga goes to Kisumu and starts doing propaganda on what can be seen as outweighing an opponent. While in Uasin Gishu, yes, Raila Odinga will have a fair share of the votes from that county, but at the end of the day, William Ruto has more support in Uasin Gishu than Raila Odinga. This is a question that came in my mind over these two instances that I'm looking at. Number one, there are these stories about the leaflets, and it is captured by the Star. These leaflets were allegedly, these leaflets were actually put in the electricity poles. So this is something that is there. We'll try to look at the influence, or rather the content of those leaflets. I have seen two, of course, in my possession, but of course I found it wise enough not to share it in this video. Now, that is number one. Number two, there is also a photo that was shared by Dennis Itumbi, and it is manipulated crowd photo. It is indeed true that William Ruto attracted a massive numbers, or rather massive support in Uasin Gishu, whether by mobilization or maybe by natural crowd, that can also be questioned. But he had more numbers. You could see that there are already some photos that were a bit manipulated. I saw the photo in, just check out Dennis Itumbi's Facebook page and you'll find out what is happening. So this is something that, to me, there is a sharp focus there. These leaflets emerged a day after, just the very day Raila Odinga was holding rally in Eldoret. And remember, if you look at if you follow that rally, you will realize the way it was massively attended. Let me just tell you something a bit about Uasin Gishu. This is a place that I had mentioned that William Ruto, despite the fact that it was his home, but he's facing some home rebellion. It is a clear rebellion against the independent candidate by the government candidate Buzeki. I got a video, I think it's in WhatsApp, I want to share this video with you. The last time William Ruto campaigned there, he actually called Buzeki Mjinga. He was speaking in the local dialect. That clip, I think I have it. Yes, I want you to listen to that. If you look at that, if you listen to that, there is something that you'll just find out there. That William Ruto threatened, actually called Buzeki Mjinga. And this was an onslaught against the independent candidates. I had analyzed about how the independent candidates who are causing a lot of trouble in the North Rift. Back to the leaflets. The leaflets were actually calling on the residents to vote a particular candidate in that place. And when it gets to an extent, because everyone can put a poster, when it gets to an extent where you're saying vote for a particular candidate, and without head judgment, judging heads, I want us to ask a question. If there is to be a leaflet, and this leaflet, it's one that Raila Odinga team, or rather Raila Odinga supporters, are not very comfortable about, and it is put somewhere in Eldoret or in Uasin Gishu, and let me have a clear reference to Uasin Gishu and avoid the Eldoret. What do you think is the content of that leaflet, and who do you think might have sponsored it? I want to ask that question, and I know the answer is, you have the answer there. This has come amidst protests that chiefs are getting instructions from the office of the president to campaign for Raila Odinga. And William Ruto is on record blaming the president for using the chiefs to intimidate. And by the way, I think politicians should understand, should define the meaning of intimidate, because I don't think it's a bit of an intimidation. Someone just wakes up and because he thinks the state is interfering, they call it intimidation. In the light of that Eldoret, of that Uasin Gishu incident, I want to point out some of the few issues that are playing out in that. And by the time we'll be getting to this election, I think some of this, or even after election, some of this will be seen. I want to say one thing, that in this place where I'm seated, I am seeing a peaceful, credible, free and fair election. And for this country to have peace, which each one of us wants peace, we must get free and fair election. And I don't think someone should get worried of any other thing. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and kindly like our video. I still continue to remind us, we've done, I think, out of the 21 days challenge, we have done 7 days. And 7 days, we have how much? I just want to confirm because money trickle in each time. 224,920. Yes, 224,920. Yes, so it means we are on course. We will achieve this. We have the next 14 days to get to the finish line. We are supporting Sarah Atieno, one of our subscribers who is suffering acute leukemia. She's still detained in Kenyatta Hospital over the bill that has accrued to 1 million after undergoing through the chemo sessions. Sarah is in strong spirit. She's really now feeling a little bit of the relief, and what is just remaining is the bill, then she'll be out of the hospital. I hope this will be done kindly. We agreed that we are just doing at least 50 shillings from each and every subscriber here. If we can, 20,000 of us can put 50 shillings donation, then we'll have a check of 1 million that we'll write to the team as Team Bold to Sarah. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my request so far, and let's continue. My number is there, 0710 62 78 89. If there is a plan by someone to cause little bit of tension in some parts of the country to scare away others, then I want to say that is deemed to backfire. Because we are all in agreement. Last time when DCI Kinoti tried to revive the ICC, the PEV cases of 2007, I think President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is even in this election the custodian of peace, came and told of DCI Kinoti that hizo vitu ziliisha. And I don't think people should think of going there. No one should even think of bringing friction in case of this election. I want to agree with the president that for once this election will come and go. It is not about do or die. Whoever becomes president, the country has to move on. We'll have a country after 9th. So I want to see this, that the Uasin Gishu is a place that have non-locals. Majority, tena wengi. In Huduma, Tarbo, Huruma Ward is a place where Kikuyus have been getting MCA seat. That seat, they normally get it. And remember when Martha Karua held a rally there, she was in a position to fill the stadium because there were quite a number of them there. I don't know the obsession with the tribal fragmentation at Uasin Gishu, because that should not be the focus. At the end of the day, I think the Kenyan voter has decided whom he's going to vote for. Framing Uasin Gishu as hotspot, and this is something that I think the political leadership in the area must be very, very careful, because in the as an effect, the effect of this will be making an area hotspot. Making the area hotspot will mean beefing up security, a lot of security presence in the area. But remember, this is the home to the deputy president. So if deputy president is going to lose this election and he's going to the way he's going to react, the first recipients of his reaction is Uasin Gishu. And this would be a ploy by these people, of course, to call for police presence after his name hotspot, so that even on the election day, before even results are announced or any other things start coming, already the narrative is framed that the areas that supposed deputy president observed heavy police presence. And that can be an excuse to cry foul and say, I was targeted. This can also be local, the forces in the local politics. If you remember my analysis I did on I think it is the Tarbo, Janet Sietenei is UDA candidate, is a Kalenjin. There is a gentleman known as Richard Kemboi who is vying through Wiper and is a Kalenjin. And there is Samson, I think Samson Mugo, who is a Kikuyu vying through ODM. And the plan was that the Azimio votes are going to be consolidated for the Samson Mugo, who is the ODM candidate, so that Kemboi and Sietenei are likely to divide the Kalenjin vote. And if they divide the Kalenjin vote, then Mugo, because he's a resident of that place, he happens to get some votes from the other side, he can carry the day. So this local politics can heavily also be blamed. And I think in terms of probing, no stone should remain unturned. Ruto is losing the public referendum against President Uhuru Kenyatta. And this also because I saw his reaction was the president knows someone from the office of the president is responsible. There is a bit of diversion, but it might also be diversion that is targeting that specific area to show that, of course, maybe to sustain the animosity between Deputy President and William Samoei Ruto. What I think someone should be very careful of is if the target is to make sure that the votes are skewed so that non-locals run away in fear, then how about the other places? I think the country needs to be very sober. And one thing I keep on maintaining is we should not be deviated by the side shows. Let us not lose the focus. That's my bold statement.